Hello there.
Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Canoe's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining us here on this fine Wednesday night. We're here on the high ground, episode 98. Ooh, buddy, we are getting
You're never so
close.
close. Yeah.
Oof, man, it's exciting times. Again, unless a meteorite hits in the next couple weeks, we should be getting there of episode 100 in February, month of love, and that's what we are
All
about
love.
around here. So exactly. So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. It's getting up there. But yeah, welcome once again. Thank you for joining us here on Wednesday night. Still pretty chilly. Still pretty cold out here. We were down into the 20s, well into the 20s actually this morning, when I had to wrangle up the family and be like, hey guys, I'm sorry, but y'all gotta go to school. I'm staying, but y'all gotta get out there.
Yeah.
Um,
It was pretty cool. 21
yeah,
when I got to work. Not fun.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, dude. So I was actually surprised. I think it was actually colder this morning than yesterday morning when we woke up to some snow, right? Um, but I guess
Not too
technically,
heavy on the snow.
yeah, I know. I was like, you know what? What did it take for our kids' school to be called off in terms of snow? I was like, I just want to get because people in the north they're like, oh yeah, it takes like 2 feet of snow, or whatever. I'm like, all right, so it took something like 2/100ths of an inch, to
Yep.
get us out of school down here in
Shut it down.
South Texas. Yep, they're like, nope. Somehow we will rebuild though. Don't worry about that. Um, but yeah, it was funny. I couldn't get the tape measure to take any sort of measurement. So
It's
it's
actually
like,
melting the snow as you're trying
yeah,
to do it.
exactly. As I'm trying to touch it, I'm like, no, don't do it. I'm not done yet. Um, but I will say, it in my mind that was snow. That was bona fide. Like
Yeah.
snow. In terms of like consistency of material, not in terms of quantity. I agree, but because I thought we were gonna freeze over. We've frozen over, before, where you wake up and you have a thin layer of ice, and your car like door is shut, frozen. That happened to me once actually in Houston. It was hilarious. I actually got there pretty late to work because I could not open my car door. It was iced over. It was just like a block of ice. From like the middle of the door all the way to the middle of the back door, right, of the I guess, yeah, of the passenger door. And so I tried the handle wouldn't extend, first of all. And so I'm like, all right, got a problem. And when I finally managed to like wrestle it out, right, and to make and unlatch the actual door, the door just went like and hit the ice and like would not move. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to call, here. I'm half an hour late as it is already. So anyway, that got kind of tricky, but that was straight up ice, not really snow. So yeah, we got some snow. I do count it as us actually getting snow out here. I was actually surprised it lasted for longer than I thought it was going to.
Oh yeah.
We still saw a little bit into the afternoon, out on the floor, on the ground. I mean,
Late into the evening, like in a shadow like spot of the
yes,
of the driveway, we still had some snow there.
yeah.
It turned yellow. I don't know if that was from a dog or from a
Yeah,
cat,
I was
but
gonna say that's
don't
that's
eat the
about the
yellow
only
snow.
kind. Yeah, and you gotta try it at least once. But yeah, so I actually went out today, after hibernating for the great blizzard storm of 2025, and I almost ate it because apparently there was still some like straight up ice on the side of the right before the sidewalk, basically. And so I was not expecting that again. Temperatures rose up quite a bit today. Of course, in comparison, we were what, like upper 50s, mid 50s at least, right?
Yeah, I think like 53, 54 is when I
Yeah,
last
around
like
there.
looked down to see the temp.
Yeah, and so I was definitely not expecting that because it was around noonish, and yeah, dude, I almost like ate it, but I didn't. Which lucky my knees bent backwards, and so yeah, I was okay, but I was not expecting that, like literally just ice on the floor. Um, But yeah, so we joke, but I know that some of y'all here in the Bunker Bunch are quite literally under snow. So stay safe out there, guys. Stay warm and just move. What the hell are you doing out there? Seriously.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let me jump right into the chat here. Appreciate y'all turning up as usual, guys. So we got Mike pulling double duty. Hello there, Bunker Bunch. And not only was he pulling double duty, he was pulling pre-game duty as well. So he was live on Instagram. And just in case you've been living under a frozen over rock, you definitely got to check him out over on Instagram at the Dad Vader. So join the almost 7,000 followers, over there. Be one of them and make sure that you tune in for his daily shenanigans.
Thank you.
And also, oh yeah. So Mike letting everybody know, doing some last minute adjustments, get ready, quite little and physical adjustments. So my Mike decided to like literally take a dive. There, he's like, "I'm tired, boss," and he like, been like, and so I was scrambling, and Mike can tell you this. I was scrambling around my room trying to find a dang Allen key, which of course I don't have handy because why would I? Why would I be prepared like that? Come on now, it's me. Um, Worst part is I actually found two here on the desk, and neither of them were the right size. I don't know what those are for, but they're not for the actual thing that I needed, the most. So anyway, last minute, I actually, did find one, and finally, that's why, it's kind of staying in place. I'm not moving it around too much because I'm like, I think this thing's gonna take a dive again. The bro DeLorean in the house. What's going on, man? Saying hello there. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you. Ultra Carla in the house. What's up, man? Brad, what's up? Ultra says Mike. Marta joining the stream, saying hi. Niño Grogu, saludos desde Chile. Saludos, hermano. Ultra Carter saying hi to that. Vader saying what's up. Jeff from Star Wars Addict saying hello there, Bunker Bunch. What's going on, bro? Thank you so much for joining. Ultra saying this morning here in Florida is horrible. Not only is it was very cold, but it was raining and I couldn't work until the rain stopped uh, during 11 a.m. Dang, dude. Yeah, that's a late start. I saw that, dude. Somebody posted that picture of the I don't know which beach it was over in Florida. That it was just completely, the sand was just covered with snow. So it's kind of crazy to see. Um, would rather snow than ice any day. Yeah, I do hear that. Yeah, yeah. Ice is just it's just annoying. It's just you can't really build an iceman. First of all, it's kind of hard. You probably could, but it takes a lot of effort and work.
You can put
Uh,
some ice in a drink.
there you go. That does save you some time. Um, but yeah, ice is just it's slippery and it's hard. And once it hits you in the face, it's never quite the same. Ultra saying I have filed an Etsy case to attempt to get a refund. I spoke to Anthanatos, and he said that he will try to resend priority mail if it gets sent back to him, so I can reship it to me again. Man, yeah, dude, that sucks. Ultra, I'm sorry you're going through that, man. Hopefully it gets sorted out. Jeff saying, did you guys have to shuffle so you don't slip all day? Pretty much, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, we're definitely not used to. We don't got our you know how they call them sea legs. We don't got our ice legs. All right, down here. So but no, seriously, I totally almost ate it today. I was not expecting that ice there on the sidewalk. Ultra says, I would like to experience snow so I can do some cold weather photo shoots. And Jazzwares, make me Halo Wars Arctic Marines. Oh, that would be pretty cool. So our friend from Curious Speed Reviews, who lives over in Houston, that's all he was doing yesterday. He actually did a live from his backyard, and he was just posting his figures and having all kinds of fun out there. Now Houston got hit, but a
They
lot more.
were pretty
Yeah.
deep.
No, they got like I think like actual whole, inches of snow. Maybe just one, but still, it stacked up. I'm just gonna say, it was way more than they've got. Well, actually, I take that back. I think they got something similar back in 21. With that big old. You
Hmm.
remember what the thing was called? It was like the polar vortex or something like that. I kept thinking it was like a reject, sequel to like Sharknado. Every time they would say it, like in the
You hit the
news.
news. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like it's a cool name, but I don't know. I can't take it seriously. Polar vortex. Um, but yeah, so our friend, like I said, Kira Sweet from in Houston, was posting that. I saw some posts from Black Star 09, who's also in Houston. They got bona fide snow. I think I
Oh yeah,
think they pretty much
they
got
were
it.
able to make some snowmen. I did see
Yes,
that.
exactly,
I tried to scoop up enough to make a snowball, and like halfway through, I'm just like, I'm playing with water now because my hands
exactly.
were melting it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I did the exact same. I was like, well, now my gloves are soggy, so there goes that. I still threw it at the kid's face though. Josh Audubon in the house saying, "Hey, General Kenobi, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining the stream, man. Good to see you." Jeff says, Mike. Ultra says, "Yesterday in the mail, my sister finally received her eBay package, and what she got was for me. Nice. It was the WWE Elite WrestleMania 40 Trish Stratus figure, and glad to finally have Trish Stratus. Nice, man. Congrats. At least that one didn't get lost." Pat's fan in the house. Hey, General Mike, what's going on, brother? Thanks so much for joining. Hey, Jeff, says Pat's fan. Ultra says, this week, Demon Velociraptor custom repaint has been completed, and it will look terrifying for my Halo Jurassic World crossover, as it will be the alpha of the pack. Nice, dude. Uh, hey, Josh, says Pat. Pat says Mike. Pat says, hey, Ultra. Hey, Bruno Lorian. Ultra saying hi to Pat. Pat saying hit that like button. Exactly. Now, I appreciate it if you do go ahead and hit that like button here on the stream, just to let the mythical YouTube algorithm know that um, let there be rain, let there be snow, let there be a flimsy mic arm. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. All right. So Pat saying hi to Martha and to Nina. We got Sexy Flexi in the house. What's going on? Greeting, bros, from Jersey Hot. Yeah, y'all hardcore out there. All right, we're cool, but y'all are something else out there. Like it's not
It's a
fun.
whole different universe over there.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Hola Nino, says Pat's fan. Sexy Flexi, says Mike. Flag, says Pat's. Hey Daddy, says Sexy Flexi and Pat's. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us again. I hope that you are staying warm. I hope that you got a nice hot beverage. I guess would be the choice this time around, or a refreshing beverage, or any kind of beverage that you enjoy at this point in the day. And thank you again so much for joining us here. I just want to say it again, man. Episode 98. That's nuts.
Yep.
That's so nuts. We're
Two
getting
away
very
from the big
close.
100. That's pretty awesome.
Right, dude. It's crazy. It's so crazy. So Mike and I are working on some, stuff for that episode. Of course, you guys know us. We like to have fun. We're definitely gonna do something special for our episode 100, which again, in theory, should be in about a couple weeks. I don't want to jinx it and say the actual date, because things can change and move around, and life always comes in and changes your plans, right? So, but
I
in
mean, when
theory,
George Lucas calls us, we have to answer.
yeah, that's
So
what I was gonna say. When he's like, "All right, guys, we're writing the next trilogy." Like,
come
I
on
just got
down.
us. Yeah, exactly. I just got us 2 cases of like Celsius and Red Bull. We're doing this. So and, I mean, we just got to do it. All right, we do it for you. We don't do it for us. We do it for you.
Yeah, it's all for
Um,
you. George needs to
exactly.
pick my brain for a couple of days.
Yeah,
It's all
exactly.
for
And that's
y'all.
all he needs, really. Just a couple days with Mike, and the saga is saved. That's the way I
Yep.
see it.
One thing I
Uh,
saw in the chat, a couple of things here where people were talking about online purchases.
mhm.
Online purchase right here. Timu.
Yeah. No
Timu. I
way.
took the gamble. I took a
Boom.
gamble.
There you go. You
Look at that.
deserve it.
Look at that.
Nice, dude.
It's a button up,
It
and
is. I didn't even notice that.
I'm a little too
Oh,
sexy for this
it's
one.
happening. Get those super
So
chats ready, guys.
ah,
Oh,
we got
look
look
at
at that one
that.
underneath. Nice little combo I got going on
Yeah, I
there.
was gonna say. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That T-shirt's giving me like Japan vibes. With the bright red and the white. Man, I like that. Very nice.
Not the greatest material, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But still a functional, cool looking shirt for the
Absolutely.
grand whopping price of $8 for both of them.
No way.
Yep.
Sold. Dude, that's
It
like
just
Rogue One, right? Scenery, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
kind of looks like it.
Yeah. Right.
Uh, it just kept on popping up on the feed. You know how
Oh yeah.
the
They wear you
mystical
down.
powers, they just keep on throwing it at you. And I was like, you know what? Fine. You want me to buy it? I'm buying it. $8 came in like
Exactly.
within 10 days. Super
Not
happy with the
bad.
purchase. Sizing, I went with the extra large on the button up. It's a little bit like if I flex it, we might lose a button here. You know what I
There
mean?
you
Like,
go.
but it's the muscles.
I was gonna say
Um,
you can't contain those pecs. That's a problem.
that's what
So
happens.
yeah,
But yeah, man, awesome find. Like
nice.
sometimes it works out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Great pickup, man. That's awesome. Um, yeah, hell of a price for sure. 10 days. That's surprisingly not bad. I mean, there's some U.S. stores that can't even do that good.
yeah. Well, like
um,
I was saying, the online troubles we were having,
yeah, no
uh,
kidding, man.
lost packages and stuff.
Yeah,
So um, definitely unfortunate, and I hope everything gets refunded or they find it and you get it. But
yeah, man. I would be
Timu,
so frustrated. Yeah, right. Who'd have thunk? Well, I guess they got a big enough online presence now. They probably have a really good like we're like bashing them, but they probably have like a really good like logistics, already like
oh
set
yeah,
up at this point. They're probably like on top of their game. So,
oh
so
yeah,
yeah,
this came from overseas, so in 10 days, that's
yeah,
quite an accomplishment to me.
yeah. No kidding, no kidding. I said it. I see what you do. See what you provoke. There you go. There you
If
go.
I,
Thank you, Pats fan, for that.
if I need to take off more stuff, or do I put more on and that gets us more?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that for him taking it off or when he was putting it back on? I mean,
Mm.
thank you either way, but just let us know. We will get you more of whatever you need. So thank you for that, Pats fan. Really, really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so we got where are we? Oh, here. Pat's saying freaking 9 degrees in New Hampshire.
Mm-mm.
Fahrenheit? 9 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't I didn't think Fahrenheit went that low. That's not right. We got Ken collects Star Wars, I'm gonna say. Bobby Vader, he says, "What's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining." Ken, what's up? Says Mike. Hey, Ken collects his Pats fan. First time here. Oh, welcome, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for checking us out. We hope that you have fun. What up? He says, not much, man. Here we're making a Mike strip, for money. Um, Sexy Flex is saying 7 degrees here.
Woo-hoo.
Dang.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oof. Oof. No. No, that's a no. Um, Good look, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Great pickups, man. Now you want, making me, want to search the team and put together, 'cause, I mean, from what it sounds like, I can get a whole wardrobe for like $30. So
This is true.
I'm
Like I said
tempted.
again, it's kind of a thin material. It's not. It
Sure,
doesn't
yeah,
have like a whole lot of like flex to it. Maybe if I would have gone up to like a 2X, it'd have been perfect. But
yeah, maybe
I was like, I'm taking a gamble for $4. Like I'm gonna go with extra large, see how that fits. Uh,
exactly.
the t-shirt's a little bit more flexible, but
Okay,
again, kind of a thin material, but perfect for South Texas.
yeah, there you go. Especially because what people don't realize is that, how today, we were in the 20s, in the morning and stuff like that. In like 2 weeks, maybe three, we're gonna be back to 100 degrees. So
Easily. Yep.
yeah. So that's it. That's it for the winter. Um, Pat's fan saying, what he's wearing, long live the empire. Nice. I like it. I like it. Louis joining the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate you. So yeah, guys, we wanted to come in here and chat about some possible, updates. Hopefully true. I definitely know which one I want to be true out of all of them, but we have been getting some chatter finally regarding some of the projects with Star Wars. And I figured we come in here and talk about it. Also, if you guys didn't get a chance to check it out like me this morning, because apparently I got to be responsible and be, working during office hours. I don't know what the heck that's about. So I couldn't watch, the Hasbro fan channel stream that they had, or Hasbro, yeah, their stream that they had
Stream, yeah.
basically for Star Wars products. So we'll talk about those. I was, in meetings trying to refresh like Instagram, just like get a peek of what was being announced like on the spot. Um, Pretty solid overall, I gotta say. Spoilers if you haven't seen what it was announced, but pretty solid, I would say. Some of them definitely overdue. Yes, sir. Yep, absolutely. So, which we knew it was coming, right? But I mean, it's nice that now we see it. It's materialized. We can order it pretty soon. So we'll talk about those two. Again, we love the toys out here, so
Oh
we
yeah.
do want to cover those. So let's jump right into it. So it was. I'm gonna start with my favorite one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be a little bit biased here. It was reported, a couple days back that Dave Filoni, pulling all his Dave Filoni powers and all the pull that he's got in Hollywood and in Lucasfilm and in Disney, I guess overall, right?
Yep.
Um, it seems that she might make a bunch of us former teenagers, in the early 2000s, very, very happy again. Oh yeah, I'm ready, dude. And he might actually be able to get us one beautiful senator slash queen slash, you know, just overall one of my favorite characters, really, back here into the I'll call it the saga because I think TB now counts as the saga, right? Like it's kind of part of it. But basically saying that Natalie Portman might actually be back. And the rumor says specifically for Ahsoka season 2. Now, I do like to point out that that's Dave Filoni's baby, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's that's his whole focus of his creative process, right? Again, he wrote, directed, he created the characters, for season 1. Um, Obviously, that's the character he created back all the way back in, well, was introduced in '08. He created it, what, like '05, '06, around there. So by the time, it came out in the movie in 2008, that's when we were introduced to her, Ahsoka, etc., etc., right? I think we all know kind of the story. So again, Ahsoka season 2, I think is fair to say it's probably Dave Filoni's favorite project that he's actually working on right now. um that's not to say he's not, wanting to do good on the other projects, right? But I'm just saying that's his baby. That's his direct connection to what he created, right? Many moons ago. So of course he would try to do, what's best for this show. um and I think this makes absolutely perfect sense because it's not it didn't it didn't click with me right away. But as I was, reading the stories and hearing, several other of our friends report the same thing, I was like, yeah, why wouldn't you want to have, Padme and Ahsoka interact, right? Because if you think about it, um, we didn't really see them together that much, of course, back in the Clone Wars, in the Clone Wars show, I mean, but they shared a very specific bond, right? Obviously, uh, through Anakin, right? And whenever we did see them together, it was kind of fire. It was it
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of a great time, kind of great stories. Um, and so if he can pull this off, first of all, thank you, Dave. Seriously, appreciate you. Uh, but again, at the same time, it just kind of makes perfect sense, right? Why wouldn't you want to revisit, that sort of friendship, right, that they had? So it started off probably more as like a working relationship, and then I think it did, end up again evolving into an all-out friendship just because of the bond that they shared in basically in trying to keep Anakin in check, right? you know,
Oh, mhm.
in different in
Takes a
different
village to raise
exactly.
a Sith Lord.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So that each in their respective fields, right, or parts of Anakin's life, but very much the same. Now, I do want to point out also that a rumor that we heard, what was this, a couple weeks back by now, is that also for Ahsoka season 2, it seems that my best friend, even though he doesn't know yet, Ewan McGregor, will be making an appearance. And again, that's just, it's almost obvious, right, that it should happen. But just because, we really, really want it to happen and that it will, two different things, right? Schedules got to line up. I mean, let's be honest, the money's got to be right. We are pretty confident or I'm pretty confident in saying that Ewan McGregor definitely wants to come back and play, right? He said it in interviews. He continues to say it, at conventions. So I don't think that's an issue, right? That's a hurdle. But again, the man does other stuff, and so again, just the schedules, all of that stuff. But I'm pretty sure he wants to come back and play. So if we can get like a full on, Clone Wars flashback, which we kind of got right back in season one, but one with the whole gang. I mean, honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'll definitely take just them hanging out at like Padme's apartment.
Just kicking
Like
back,
just
drinking a couple
dude, yeah,
drinks.
exactly. Like in between, deployments for the Jedi, and she's just like, yeah, I got a session with the Senate, but it's not till later. Like just to chill out. We finally coincide. We got an hour, right? And this is like the 1 hour of the year that we can actually hang out, and we're just here, and we're just drinking some Java juice, like we're just chilling, right? And they're just chatting it up. I'm like, dude, I just honestly just give me half an hour of that. Like I'll
Yeah.
take a full episode of just them, catching up, just chilling, just be like, hey, so did anybody ever go back for the slaves on Tatooine? And Obi-Wan is
Oh
like,
crap!
I knew I forgot something.
Dang it!
Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Um, so yeah, something like that, dude. I would, again, I don't really need like a big battle. We've seen big battles, right? And they look
Yeah,
beautiful, don't get me wrong, and I absolutely love them. But if you're gonna bring, like the crew back together, I don't know, and maybe that's just me, right? Maybe most people want to see them like, no, let's go all out, blasting clankers left and right, and of course I want to see that. But given the choice, I honestly would like just to see kind of like the stuff that we didn't really see ever, right? Like them just hanging out, just kind
I
of
like
what the
I like to see them just like ragging on Grievous and like Dooku. They're
oh,
like,
dude,
"What's up with that
imagine,
lame beard?"
dude, imagine like they're just literally just bad mouthing, the other
Yeah.
side. It's
What's up with
like,
that asthmatic guy? And then he turns out to be asthmatic later.
yeah, exactly right. They're like, what? They couldn't afford like the good one, like oh my lord, that would be the best. That would be the
Awesome.
absolute best. Them just making whatever space Moors are, and just ragging, like I said, on like Dooku is like, what's up with the little pose, like always, and you know
Look how
does
I
he
hold
oh
my lightsaber. Ooh.
exactly, yeah. But yet I wear a cape, so like at every point, oh my lord, yeah,
Just poking
I'm
fun.
so ready for that. But yeah, man, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, this rumor really kicked it up, the excitement level for Ahsoka season two, which we know it's gonna be good, right? Or
Oh, yeah.
let me put it to you this way: it's got the most odds of being good, right? Season one, I wouldn't call it perfect. I did have a few gripes with it, but it was fun. It was absolutely fun. I think it did what it set out to be.
I felt like
Um,
pace was pretty decent. It didn't have moments where
exactly.
it was like, man, this take forever. Like,
Yeah.
kept me pretty engaged. The action was there. The characters were there. So I mean, overall,
Yeah.
really, really good series with a few sprinkles of like, hey man, that was kind of lame. Like you killed off that guy in
Yeah.
like 2 seconds. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, to me, honestly, it was more of that last episode, man. Maybe I'm just getting bitter in my old age, but that last episode when they're like, "Okay, right, so here's the mission. We're gonna go over there, right? But once we get over there, we're gonna send the guy that was over there back here, and we're staying over there. So for the last 10 years, we've been trying to get to him and him to us, and we got that for 20 minutes, and now we crisscross, and now we're at each other's
Mhm.
respective galaxies and scene. I'm like, all right, I don't know. That felt a little bit weird, but I I do kind of see the point because that's the thing. You just can't have three more Jedi's basically, right? Just running around when we already got Luke, right? You already got Luke. We kind of halfway got Grogu, right? Whichever way he's gonna lean in, and we know there's more around, right? In the same period of time. So I'm like, yeah, you're just increasing. It's getting to be too many hands in the pot. So
Mhm.
they're like, all right, we'll trade you these two for this one. I was like, all right, that, and I guess that kind of makes sense. But overall, Thrawn was great. I mean, he looked
Oh
and
yeah,
sounded amazing.
the
Um,
sisters. I thought that was pretty good.
exactly. Yeah.
Bringing them in.
And I mean, let's be honest with you. I think for me, the best part was just bailing, dude. I mean, that
Oh,
character just
definitely.
came out of nowhere, and of course, of course, half of that or more than half of that is because of Ray's, interpretation of the character, right? He just absolutely destroyed it, right? Like he did an incredible job.
I think it's
Um,
just its overall presence in
yes,
the series,
very
like
much,
even in a lot of the stuff that he's done, just his overall presence, just standing in a room, you're kind of drawn towards because you're like, that dude's menacing. So
dude.
what's up with
Absolutely,
him?
dude. Seriously, when he played Punisher, um, no disrespect to John Berthel because I think he's an incredible Punisher. But man, I mean, Ray just had that presence. Like you said, the dude was just standing there, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to even go near that. Like, let alone like be a bad guy like around him. Yeah, he just had that yeah, that presence really, which I think Dave Filoni knew how to or saw how to harvest that right into Balin also, because I feel that Balin is very much that same sort of presence, right?
Yep.
He's not over the top, he's not crazy looking, with like horns or tattoos and stuff like that. Yet he commands, like respect and presence, and again, you see him approach, and you're like on your toes, right? You're like, whoa, 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 like what's going on here? Um, so yeah, again, I think if this is true, if Dave Filoni can pull back, our favorite center uh, into Star Wars live action, one, first of all, I obviously I'm hoping that it does happen because that would just be perfect. Two, and this is me being selfish, I really hope it happens very, very soon. And I'm talking about like by the end of this month, so they can still book her for Japan,
Oh man,
where
that
I'm
would
going
be
to be.
wild. Yeah, that'd be
Right?
wild.
Dude, I will, oh my Lord, I will probably have to sacrifice a full day of the convention just to try and meet her, right? Like
Oh,
just to
definitely,
stand in line. And I'll be honest with you, that's kind of worth it to me.
definitely. I'm gonna have to figure out how to become a contortionist and get in your suitcase or something. Because
For
if they
real, dude.
announce that, you're sneaking me on.
Dude, that's what I'm
To
saying. Like if they
see her in the
announce her,
plane.
oh my Lord, yeah, that's top tier, right? For me. Again, we've talked about it here. Um, right now, to me, she's like on par with like getting Mark Hamill, right? Like to actually go out and sign, which he hasn't done for Celebration in years. Luckily, again, I got to meet Mark Hamill, so that's why he's like number two in my list. That's the only reason why, right? But and so to me, I think right now, um, Natalie Portman in terms of like scarcity and like just how few I should say of these things she's actually, she doesn't even do. Um, yeah,
Natalie or Harrison.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Harrison
Like,
would just be insane. He's same thing, right? Kind of like Mark. He's been to them. He has shown up, to celebrations, but that's it. He just comes out, messes things up, and then like disappears back into the shadows. So he hasn't actually done any signings, any photo ops, stuff like that. So if he does that, man, there goes my whole convention, bro. Like just
yep.
one day for Natalie, one day for Harrison, and then that's it. The show's over. But I would absolutely do it, I think. But let me know, Bunker Bunch. What do y'all think? Do y'all think this is a good idea? Do you think it's maybe too much? Like, are we getting into the what do they call it? Like the fan service, right? Like, are we getting into fan service sort of territory with Ahsoka season two, just throwing everybody that was in Clone Wars, right? Like turning them into live action.
Now, is there
Uh,
a such a thing as, so you get the fan service? Is there such thing as a celebrity service? Because I believe
right?
she said that she's willing to come back. She's just waiting for the phone call.
Yeah.
So I think
Which
she's said it before. So is that kind of like, she wants to do it, the fans would like it, and like, is it kind of like catering to her a little bit as well to
I
us?
I really hope so. I see. This is what I'm hoping, that she's like, you know what? I do want to come back. I don't want to do movies, right? She's like,
Mm,
I don't have the time or the energy for full on trilogies anymore, right? And so Filon is like, we got you, right? We got you. You'll come in for 2 weeks, right? We'll shoot your scenes in 2 weeks. You'll be out of here, right? It's gonna be it's gonna be a friends, but in Star Wars, and we're just gonna be there having coffee with the buddies, and you're gonna have some cool dialogue, and that's it, right? Um, and she's like, you know what, I can do that, right? But that's how we get her in. That's how we get her back. And then
yeah.
next thing over is like, hey, you know what? We actually are gonna go back to Naboo,
Oh,
and
dude, my mind just like clicked.
let's go.
All four of them sitting in the diner, catching up. Here comes Dex talking to them
Exactly.
about their recent adventure on X, whatever they want to pull out of the Clone Wars. That would be like Seinfeld.
Right? I mean,
Just do a
perfect, dude.
Seinfeld.
Seriously. That's what I'm saying, dude. I just, at this point, I just need an episode of that, because I realize how freaking hard it would be to get a whole show, right? Made like that. So for now, I'll settle for an episode. Just give us those awesome interactions, with all the live action actors. And trust me, people are gonna go nuts. And then, right, next season, next show, next movie, they're like, hey, you kind of look at the fans. They went crazy. So
Berserk,
wouldn't it
yeah.
be cool if this time around you come back for just one movie, right? Just one movie. We don't have a sign a contract for 10 movies like last time. Just one, see how it feels, and bam, we got her. We got her back. So that's my that is my guess as to what Dave might be trying to pull off. She's like, hey, no big commitment, not gonna take a whole year out of your life. Like, just come in for a couple weeks. You'll get to play in the sandbox again for a little bit and see how you like it. But man, again, us fans, I'm all for it. Um, but let me see here. Let me jump right back into it. We got Eric in the house. Eric Estrada, made famous by Chips, if you guys remember. He's in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for joining, man. It was 109 when I was in Galveston back in 2008, 2010. Dude, 109 is, what was it, last year? Was it 2 years ago? I forget. I think it was last year, maybe, that we broke the record for consecutive triple
Triple
digit,
digit
yeah,
days. Yeah.
like in a row, right? Like, just, I think we had something like 47 or something like that. I forget what it was. It
And
was some
not like just 100, like
no, that's what I was gonna say. Not like, oh, we
109,
barely made it. No.
110,
Yeah, dude.
108.
110, like, all day, all freaking day, dude. Um, and then we had some pretty rough, days when I think we were getting like, what, 125, something like that. A
Yeah.
couple of those days, I was like, nope, 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 nope. Pat saying hi to Luis and Eric. Listen, Eric, what's up? Says Mike. The brother says, couldn't be happier to hear the rumors of Natalie returning. Right? Again, I gotta be honest with John. Like, this kind of invigorated my outlook on Ahsoka season 2. And again, not that I was hating on it or anything like that. It's just I wasn't like super super excited about it. Right? Like, it's one of those things that I'm like, oh, it's gonna be solid for sure. But with this, man, with this and Ewan, come on,
Yep.
if they get them all back, oof, heck yeah, bro. It says, Mike, we got Chris from the Man Collect saying, what's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, brother. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Ultra saying hi to the Man Collects. Hey, Man Collects is Pat's fan. Chris saying hi to Pat's and Ultra. We got Aboard the Venator. What is going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us, dude. Balin was by far my favorite character. Yeah, dude. Out of Ahsoka, I think so too, hands down. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed watching Shin Hati, uh, visually, very interesting. But character-wise, Balin, like, hands down, for
I
sure.
did like little Ahsoka. I think she did a really
Yeah,
good
you know
job with
what?
her. It was a small part, but really, really good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought she did great. And I do wonder, like, what do you think for the flashback? I guess technically it should be her, right? Like, if she's hanging out with Padme and Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Um, Clone Wars Ahsoka, which is, the young version of Ahsoka. I think that's basically who's gonna have to, chronologically, that's who should be right in these
Yep.
flashbacks. So that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting if Rosario Dawson gets to hang out with Natalie Portman, right, or not, on screen. I mean, but hey, we also got the War Between Worlds, right, in this show, so could play around there for a little bit
Yep.
with the timeline. Hey, aboard the banner, 100% agree. Man collects ATV sub, says Mike. Aboard. I got you. I got you. Aboard the banner says it's unfortunate we won't get to see him complete his character work with Balin's Call. He had such a presence. He had depth in a character that didn't have a ton of screen time. Yeah, that's actually another good point. Balin was not on screen for a whole ton, you know. But man, when he was on. Like,
He commanded your attention when he was on the screen. That's for
absolutely, dude.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that voice, dude, that voice too. Like, I don't know. It's just the whole package, right? Like, I mean, just his looks, his presence. Again, I do want to credit, Dave Filoni for being like, you know what, we're gonna shape this character, around you too. Like, we're gonna play to the strengths of the actor. And again, this the result was incredible. Ben Collex says Ray was an awesome Punisher, portrayed him similar to the 90s style comics. I thought, yes, and that was
Yep.
my first introduction to Punisher. Um, Poor parenting, some might call it, but back in the 90s, that was standard. That was all right. Um, but yeah, I agree, dude. I got those vibes from him. Like I said, he was. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but for that movie, for Punisher, right, Warzone, and for what was the other one? Oh my lord, I'm blanking out. Ghost Rider, the second one, right? With Nicolas Cage again. At the beginning, they had, you know how Marvel has the Marvel logo being put together with like scenes of other movies and comic books and stuff. At the beginning of those, they had Marvel Knights, and it was just black and white. And in my mind, I was like, dude, they're doing it. They're gonna bring together, like, like a sub genre of like the anti-heroes, right, the not
Mhm.
so nice, people. And then it just never never really materialized, right. I always wanted more Punisher, for sure. Then years later, of course, we got the show, and that show is just incredible, right. What they did with the character, and what John, Bernthal did with the character, just, again, amazing. But I always long to see, Ray get at least one more shot at the character, maybe like a wrap up story, maybe like the one last, fight for him, something like that, like some to sort of wrap up, his portrayal. um but yeah, man, again, Ray, deeply missed, and specifically for Ahsoka, man, what shoes to fill. Like, that's just nuts.
Yeah. I don't envy the Hound. I forget
No,
the actor's name because he's got
no,
some
man.
big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
I think he can do it.
I
I
think
think he
so.
did a good job in was it Game of Thrones? Um, but I mean, still, those are some big shoes, man.
I do it for real. And again, I can't think of anybody that will be like, oh yeah, he's gonna do a better job than Ray. I don't
No,
know that
no,
that person exists, right? Not in that sort of like age range, right? That's needed for the character. Um, but man, yeah. So again, it's one of those tough gigs, whichever way you look at it. Whoever is in that role is gonna have a tough time, right? Like, it's gonna be an uphill battle, right? But
Now, do you think because of like obviously Dave knows kind of how important that character is and
yeah,
how well it was done? Do you think that also is going to limit the amount of screen time he's going to have to write in there because he's going to have to play around with that?
see, I don't think that was his original intent. I think it was quite the opposite, right? In my mind, Balin was gonna be front and center for season two, with the whole Mortis gods,
Yep.
all of that stuff. So I think he might shave off like one or two scenes here and there, right? Or maybe like a subplot that maybe he was thinking about, with the character. But I think the bulk of it is still gonna have to be that, right? Because it's already kind of set up. Like
Yep.
we as fans are already expecting, for Balin to go exploring, finding, fighting. I don't know what trying to control. I don't know what he's trying to do, right, with those gods, or with the remnants of those gods, right? Because in theory they were kind of not doing great, right, when we left
They,
them in Clone Wars.
yeah.
Yeah, I think pretty much they're all, retired. Um, so again, whatever he's planning to do, it seems like it has to be integral to season two, and therefore Balin has to be, integral to the story. So,
Wouldn't that be a great write-off if he becomes the embodiment of the Force of
dude,
all sides of the Force, right?
I was gonna say, imagine he becomes like the father, right? Because remember
Yeah.
the father was like in the middle. Um, so he becomes like, you know what? I've gone through the Jedi, I've gone through the dark side, right? Neither are right. I'm just trying to find the balance, right? I'm just trying to find what works for most people.
How do
And
we copyright this? Because I mean, Dave might be listening. We need
dude,
to
that's what I was gonna say. Dave, you're listening. That's fine. I'll take a cameo. Uh,
just a
you
little
know,
one.
yeah, exactly. I'll be Senator Amidala's handmaiding. That's all I need. Um, but yeah, dude. So to answer your question, I think it's gonna be very tough to diminish, the amount of Balin that he probably already had an idea. Obviously, right? Like we know Dave. He has probably 2 3 seasons, more
Oh
or
yeah, that
less,
dude,
like lined up in
chess
his mind.
master. He's 8 moves ahead of us.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm sure he's shaving off probably, some like sub little plot where Balin goes and has to repair his lightsaber. And it's like, yeah, maybe we'll axe that. But the core of the story, I think it still very much resides with the character. We got Tiara in the house. What's going on? Crafting on Ilum saying, what? Not excited for the exploration of the Mortis arc? I am. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm more excited about Natalie Portman right now. Just Natalie Portman hanging out again with my man Ewan McGregor. Oh yeah, the possibilities. How we doing, Bunker Bunch? Says Chris from the Nerd Squadron. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Hey, nerds and Pats fan. What did I miss? Chris up, my silver box guy. I saw that, dude. I felt so validated when he posted that.
Yep.
Um, So in case, actually, you know what? Let me pull it up. It's easier to just show you guys. Um, but um, Chris from Nerd Squadron posted this image. Where is it? Or story, right? It was a story. Yes, let me pull this up here. So first of all, he posted this story, which made me just absolutely jealous, bro. Like that's just nuts. I hate you a little bit. That desk just looks insane. But he posted this next one, and I'm like, I totally identify with this. So, bunch of empty lightsaber boxes saying, anybody else keep their boxes, you know? And I do notice that this kind of looks like your garage, floor, man. I see a tire right there. So I do the exact same, dude, and I need to stop, or so does my wife tells me. But yeah, I can't. I get antsy, when I'm like, yeah, but what if I need to transport it, or what if I need to, worst case scenario, what if I need to sell it? It's gonna sell a lot better if it's on the pack on the original package and all that stuff.
That is true.
So yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy.
I
Ultra saying
messaged
had
him
a nerd
too.
squadron. Oh, did
I
you?
was, yeah, I was like, I keep all my boxes for the most part for
Yeah,
everything I collect.
yeah, dude. For real. Except so when I open action figures now, I'm like the packaging has to go, but like immediately. Because otherwise I get like this guilt, that I'm like, damn, why would I open this when the packaging is just there? So if I open a Black Series or a TVC or whatever it is, even if it's my double or it's the one that I actually bought to open, with the intent and purpose of opening it, I gotta get rid of that packaging like out of my sight, like immediately, dude. Otherwise it's just like mental torment. We got Josue joining the stream. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, man. Saludos desde San Luis Potosí. Chris saying that was only half of my boxes.
Mhm.
There you go. Love it. Maybe less. Pat saying, hey guys, have a great night. I have to get up early. Sorry. We'll finish watching tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Appreciate you, Pats fan. And thanks again for that super chat. Mike will be sending you some more pictures later on. I'm just kidding. We do that all live on the other site. Um, the Brodalorian saying Saber Box Boy here. There you go. There you go. See, Chris, you're not alone. Come on now. That's how we collectors think, dude. Seriously, man. Like I said, I get antsy. Um, yeah, I every time there's an unboxing, I'm like, nope. I'm like, I sit for at least like 5 minutes before starting the video. I'm like, do I really want to do this? Like, is this, is this really happening? Again, even if it's like a double, right? If it's something like, that I bought a beat up box, to open, um, yeah, it's still tough.
Mm-hmm.
Pat saying, I don't have any sabers. Wanting my first to be Empire Strikes Back Vader, hopefully this year. Dude, Vader's always a good choice. I mean, say what you want about that saber, but it's still, one of the most popular designs, I think.
Definitely.
As long as he's wearing Star Wars clothes. Oh man, why you gotta crimp his style like that? He's gonna not be wearing anything.
The Star Wars banana hammock.
There you go. Sold. Good night, says Pat's fan. There you go. Let that carry you into beautiful slumber sleep right there. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the first great in my book, rumor that we got going on for these upcoming Star Wars projects, right? But it's not the only one. The other one that we
Well,
got,
let's
yeah,
let's put a little bow on it. Not a big bow, but a little bow. So taking the
I'm ready.
facts that we know, she said she's willing to come back to it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, very much so.
Disney loves to make live action out of animated stuff right now.
Yep.
So that's a big plus there. I believe Dave has proven himself more than capable of doing this show. So a season 2, you think they give him a little bit more rope, maybe a little bit more budget. So I'm thinking that this may not be just a rumor. I'm thinking this may be a full blown, absolutely a possibility of not being a rumor. It is true. I said it. She's coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Again, we talked about it as we were wrapping up. Skeleton Crew, right? It's like this Disney's kind of starting to throttle back a little bit on the frequency of these shows, right? And so that, in my mind, is like, hey, we need guaranteed, successes. Um, if I'm a Disney exec, I would look at Ahsoka as such, right? Ahsoka season 2. Again, because of all that we talked about here, earlier. It's Dave Filoni's baby. He's definitely intimately, wanting it to be a success, etc. So yeah, I would be like, you know what? Instead of doing another show, right? How about we just double down? We back up 2 money trucks to this show and just make sure that this dude, Dave, has everything he considers to be necessary for this show, right? And more. Like, he wants Natalie Portman, let's make it work, right? He wants Ewan, let's do that. Um, but you just reminded me when you said Disney. Remember when that last Thor movie came out? What is that? Love and Thunder? Is that the last one? Yeah, I get it mixed up. Um, Natalie Portman wasn't that, right? As Thor, and Taika Waititi was um, directing that one. And at the time, he had been awarded a Star Wars project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so remember when that news came out, when they were working together again in Thor, he's like, you know what would be awesome, like if you come to work, in my Star Wars movie, right? Like it would be so awesome, and I think you would be really good for like Star Wars and stuff like that. And Natalie Portman goes like, yeah, I kind of already did that, like 3
I
movies.
kind of have a major character in there.
Yeah, dude. So if I'm Taika, I'm like, all right, well, that's it. I can never show my face in public no more. Like I'm done. I'm gonna become a hermit at a mountain, that nobody knows in like Tibet. Because yeah, he messed that one up royally. So I thought that was hilarious. So, but hey, it wasn't a no. It wasn't a I don't ever want to come back to Star Wars. So I'll take it.
Yep.
Let's see. Chris says sexy flexy. Ultra says, so it turns out I did receive my Etsy refund and I did Use it towards DNA design DK52 upgrade kit. Reproduce store figures, Primal, Cheater, and Rhinox. All right, well, hey, at least you got it, man. You didn't get the package, but at least you got the refund, I guess. Next best thing. Nerd Squad says, I threw away my T6 box and I felt guilty doing it. Yeah, dude, I hear you. Ooh, Poppy Flex is here. Yes, sir. Yo, I would shed a tear seeing a live action version of Ahsoka attending the funeral. Dude, yeah. Kind of like the way we did it. Even with the Tales of the Jedi, right? Like, oh, dude, I loved so much they went back to that scene.
Yep.
That was perfect. Um, dang right, says Mike. Yeah,
Wouldn't that
absolutely.
be like a complete throwaway though? They're like, that's the only scene that they bring her back for is just to lay there.
imagine, imagine
Oh
she's like,
man.
yeah, it cost us $12 million to get this, which could have been easily done, with CGI for like 200K,
Yeah, easy.
but they wanted realism, so they've got it. Um, yeah, dude, that'd be insane. But again, I think if anybody can pull it off at this point, it's Dave. Um, and he's a fan. He's one of us, so
Yep.
I think it's gonna happen. Like you said, I do think this particular rumor will materialize into something. I really hope so. Anyway, but we do have something, also which apparently, Ryan Gosling is being scoped out to be in the still upcoming Sean Levy's, sorry, upcoming Star Wars projects. So it's again, Ryan Gosling, great actor, great looking dude. Not gonna lie, um, he definitely has range. I'm not saying he can't or you know, I think he wants to. He's done sci-fi before, like heavy
Yep.
sci-fi, right? Um, like Blade Runner. So that's a freaking tall order right there. So no strangers, to sci-fi for sure. I do wonder what he would be playing, and by what I mean what kind of character. Are we talking
Yep.
Jedi? You know, Sith,
Smuggler,
dark side?
pirate.
Yeah, exactly. Smuggler, pirate.
I don't know if they'll go force user because I was looking
I don't
at
know.
some of the screenshots um, from Blade Runner, and that gets kind of gritty, right? So I'm looking at
Yeah.
him and I'm like, man, he does fit like a smuggler,
Right.
maybe even a syndicate boss.
Yes.
Maybe he could do a role like that. So I mean, I think he does have the range where he could probably do anything, but I feel like, do we need another force user, like new character out there that
Right.
we haven't really talked about, unless they pull from some of the other material that's a known character? But I don't know. I feel like keep it dirty, gritty, no force, just a bad guy or a good guy in a bad world, one of those two.
Right, exactly. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if he's, like a former military, maybe even for like the rebellion or something like that. Um, yeah. So I kind of agree actually with you. I would want him to play something other than a Jedi, right, or a Sith for that matter. Somewhere in between that. Um, I wouldn't be opposed to having a little bit of a, you know, um, Kyle Katarn type of mixture. When he's a smuggler, yet he's a Force user, right? But he's still very much primarily a smuggler. So something like that, it's maybe like a little bit of a mix there. But I uh, I just hope that he is not the front and center, of this
Hmm.
story. Because I'm gonna be real honest with you, I'm kind of getting tired of throwing big names, right? Big actor names. I mean, at Star Wars projects, and then that's kind of all they're banking on, right? Like, um,
We got the big name.
it, exactly, and
The
therefore
ace
you're
is
gonna like
secured.
it. Yeah, and and he hears him again, and he hears what he looks from that side, from the other. This is action figure, like that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah, but what's the story, right? Like what's
Mhm.
the meat of the show or of the movie, right? Of the project. That's what really has to be front and center, in my opinion.
I
So
do like getting celebrities in smaller roles.
yeah,
I really enjoy that, especially when they're fans of it.
exactly,
I feel like they try to do their best to bring their small character into
exactly.
the world, right? So we've seen it plenty of times, um, and I think they're executed well. But when you bring a big name actor or actress into a lead role, or what we perceive to be a lead role, and then you kill them off in the first episode,
Yeah, yeah.
that doesn't really do good.
No, I agree. And again, especially when you're advertising it as such, right? It's like, hey, Carrie Ann Moss is coming back. Like, Trinity is gonna be a Jedi, and she kind of moves like Trinity too. Look, and this and that, and they're like, oh yeah, she's gone. Like, come on,
Fooled
man.
you. Yeah.
Exactly. We're gonna get her for like 2 more minutes in the whole show, but she's just gonna be talking. So that's about it. Um, yeah, and again, it nothing again. Ryan, he's just too big of a star, right? To who could easily, of course, overshadow any unknown name that is attached to this project. But like I said, I'm kind of ready for Star Wars to get back to more of the unknown roots. When it comes to actors, right? I mean, look at Skeleton Crew, right? Skeleton Crew
Oh
had a
yeah.
gigantic name, Jude Law, attached to it, and it took a while for them to steer, away from that, right? Like they went heavy on it initially, and then they're like, yeah, but we also got this great cast of kids, right? Young actors, doing for the first time this kind of work, all that stuff. But man, it took a lot. I think it took a lot to kind of steer the attention, away from Jude
Yep.
Law. And I'm not gonna say that they actually succeeded 100%, right? Because again, it's freaking Jude Law, right? And then you say that he's gonna be a Force user, well, people will lose their mind. Right? It's like, oh my
Yep.
god, Jude Law is gonna be a Sith Lord, or the new Jedi Master, blah blah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of the power of a big name, right? Of a big name actor. So we'll see. Of course, this is very much a rumor. Everything that I've read is kind of like, oh yeah, we would like for him to be, right. Not so much, yeah, we send him over a contract. We're waiting for him to, actually sign.
And then
Of course,
what's the time period on this one? I think it was supposed to be like way way in the past, I believe, right? It's not supposed to be
Sean
connected.
was, yeah, it's supposed to be like way, way in the past, right? Or actually, no, am I getting this one confused? Um,
Anybody in the chat know when his projected timeline is for his film?
yeah, because I'm trying to remember if this is the super far into the past one, or the future one with Ray, um, which I think is turning into a trilogy, if I remember correctly. I think that's the last that I heard of it. So I'm leaning towards this one is the Dawn of the Jedi. Um, but man, again, and actually, we know we could be talking about a third project, because there, at one point, dude, there was like 7 movies in the
Yeah.
works. Like,
It looked like the Marvel universe of
yeah,
all the different.
dude, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. They were definitely trying to pull that off. And speaking of the Marvel universe, I didn't realize it has been what, 4 years or 5 years since the new Blade was announced, and
Yeah.
nothing has come out of it, dude. It's nuts. I didn't realize it was that long. In my mind, it was like 2 years ago, barely. But no, apparently we're very much into yeah. I want to say they said something like 5 years or something like that. It's something crazy. But so yeah, so this is another part of the rumors. Again, nothing wrong with it. I just want, at this point, I just want to see the films take off. Like they actually materialize into something.
Yeah. They're
And
on set. There's
it,
actual film or
yes,
whatever the media is they use now for
exactly
recording.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's, oh man, yeah, like they're like, script is done. I I don't even get excited about those anymore, because scripts have been done for the past,
Throw
five
them out the
years, and
window.
then
Yeah.
exactly, and then they just throw them out the window. Or like, oh wait, we got a director. I don't even care anymore, because again, you announce one today, and then in 2 weeks they're like, oh yeah, he walked away because he didn't like the script. So we're throwing away the director and the script. So we're back to square one. I'm like, come on, man. Like, it took 3 years to get to this point, and now you're just saying, nope, reset button. So yeah, at this point,
But
I
again, It's very frustrating, but
Yeah.
it has to be right, not just from a business standpoint, but for the fans. You've already had some duds, so like take your time, make it right. We're gonna get frustrated regardless of like the timeline it takes to get us projects, but I'd rather sit, wait, be mad, and then have excellent stuff come out and be happy with it. So
Yeah, I
I'm okay
agree
with it.
completely.
Grain of
But
salt.
yeah, exactly. So every news that I hear about a movie, at this point, I'm like, okay, cool, if it happens, right? And that's
Yeah.
it. Like, move on because, um, yeah, we've all seen it, here several times over. It just doesn't materialize into anything. Aside from the Mandu, movie, in next year. I was going to say in 2 years, but technically it's next year. I think that's about the only safe bet, right? When it comes to movies, in particular for Star Wars. Um, Ultra Saints, all right, guys, gotta go now get my rest. So I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Brother Lawrence says, I bet if anything, they show how Padme and Ahsoka were true friends, making the moment in Tales when Bail asks, why risk coming? And Ahsoka says, she was my friend, hit even harder. Totally, dude. That's what I'm saying. I kind of just want like a chill throwback of them freaking cooking together or something. I don't know. That just makes it seem like that much more like intimate. Like, no, they were friends, and Ahsoka, was pretty hurt when Padme, passed away. Yurt says, Pat the Bounty Collector, what up, cuz? Saying, good evening, everyone. And Mike saying, Pop, how's the night going? So the last thing that I do want to cover here is that Hasbro had their fan stream, fan live stream um, for Star Wars today, this morning. And so they announced some upcoming action figures that are gonna start going on pre-sale, I believe tomorrow, if I remember correctly.
Tomorrow at 1 Eastern,
One
so
Eastern, yes,
12
correct.
for us.
Yeah, yeah. So let me start sharing here. So we just talked about him. Again, just one of those that are like, yeah, you kind of took your time on this one. Um,
Black
Balin's Skull,
Series had 2
yeah,
Balins
two
already,
Balins, pretty much.
before y'all got 1.
Which is weird because I'll be honest with you, Black Series tends to be more chaotic in terms of
Mhm.
like keeping up with whatever show is going on. Um, except for the Acolyte, I feel that the Acolyte was the last one that it kind of synced up. Actually, I take that back. Skeleton Crew wasn't that bad, right? Because that wave
Yeah, they
came
were
out
I think it actually came out before,
just before, right? The
like,
first
yeah,
episode.
like, maybe, like, a week, maybe 2
Yeah,
weeks. I think I saw Jod, at a GameStop, and then Walmart wasn't too far behind that had the whole
yeah,
gang. So, yeah, they were pretty spot on for the release of that show.
very true, very true. So yeah, actually, Black. Now that I think about it, Black Series did okay with the shows last year, in terms of syncing up to when they were coming out. But yeah, so we got Vintage Collection, Balin Skull, of course, on an Ahsoka, right? Card, and it looks good.
Beautiful
I'm not
card,
gonna
by the
lie.
way, right?
Oh
The
yeah,
card
I
is
love
pretty
this. Yeah,
fire. With plenty
again,
of room for, like, if we could have gotten it, right? We could have gotten
yeah.
his autograph. There was plenty of I was looking at on all the cards that they showed. I was like, "Man,
Mhm.
are they doing that to a fan service? Because that's, like, perfect for a signature, like,
Yeah, it's got a lot of nice, empty space.
open, empty area."
Exactly. Yeah. Even down here, I think, with the maybe like with a red, would
Oh,
contrast
yeah.
nice. But yeah, so very much so. I do actually, now that you mentioned, I do like the post that they chose for him. Again, just he doesn't have like the uber crazy moves or anything like that. That's all he needs to just stand there with his lightsaber ignited. That's all the presence he ever needed.
With his
Um,
extra long blade. I don't know if you've noticed that, but his
yeah,
blade looks a lot longer than everybody
and
else's.
agreed. And if you notice when he was actually fighting, it's almost like he had an extra weight on it, right? Like kind of like a broadsword,
Yeah, I was about to say a broadsword,
type
yep.
of thing of I gotta give that extra, put that extra shoulder in because it's heavier, right? And it's longer, and it takes more to wield. In theory, yes, I know lightsabers are meant to be energy, so technically they shouldn't weigh pretty much nothing, right? but just his style of fighting, right, to compensate for that longer blade, like we mentioned. It is going to be interesting. I do want to see this live, obviously, to see if they manage to get the color right on the saber. Because remember, these dudes are like orangey.
Orange,
They're
yeah.
not red.
Have you seen
Um,
the on the Black Series? There's actually
there's two,
uh, two variants. There's the
correct,
orange and the red.
and the
So
red. Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
say from what I saw from the live, which again I was watching it on Tony's, so
yeah.
it wasn't the biggest. It did look orange. So
Nice.
hopefully they did nail that.
Yeah, and I think they learned again from Black Series, right? Just
Yep.
because, if I remember correctly, the Black Series came out with red first, and then they retconned it to orange, right? So overall, looks good. I think the portrait is there. Again, guys, always take these images with a grain of salt because a lot of them are not of the actual product. It's either a render or a prototype, or some of them are flat out. How do you call it? Like composites, that they put together, just for the show or for the live stream. I mean, so always take this with a little bit of grain of salt. Things more than likely will change on the actual final product, right? But again, overall, it looks good. Um, the armor does have some good touches of weathering, just like just like the show did. Like I said, I do wonder if they're gonna get the color right. I think they will because I hope they did learn from Black Series. Range of motion, not that you need too much, to be honest with you, on this figure in particular, but hopefully this is on the updated body, and we get a pretty wide range of motion. That Hamas, that skirt, let's call it, is definitely going to limit some of the poses that you can do, because that seems to be what do you call it, plastic, right? I don't think it's that soft goods, so that's going to be, of course, a little bit more rigid. But again, overall, it looks good. I think the details are there. As usual, you don't get many accessories, right? We get no hood, for example. We get an ignited and a hilt only, in terms of his lightsaber.
Do you
Uh,
think they'll do like Black Series? And here's another one with a hood.
they might, dude. I mean,
'Cause that's
I
what we
think
got in Black Series.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think for the most part, to be honest, Vintage Collection has been doing good on that, like as in not doing that. I mean, um, but they have been very bad at getting us deluxe figures, right? Which is basically a Boba Fett with a jetpack, which again I consider to be standard, and then like jet thruster effects, and that's the extra, right? Like that's the deluxe portion of it, and they charge you $25 for it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's qualifies, um so yeah, we might see some sort of repackage or increase, right, in accessories, but for the low price of $25. Now, of course, you can't have Balin without Shin Hati. And I kind of do like how they match the aesthetic of the card, right? Again, you got that sort of cloudy white background like you did with Balin. However, and again, I think it's gonna be better on the actual live, but her hair, right, is super blonde, borderlining on white. So I don't know about you, but this picture doesn't do great job at separating those. So it almost looks at some spots like it merges with the
Yeah.
with the background. Um, Again, I'm as always, take all of this with a little bit of grain of salt of how it looks right on the image. Um, but that was the only thing that kind of stood out to me. I'm like, huh, it looks like she has like no hair here. She does again, but it's just some of the tone of the background, kind of blurs into her hair. Um, we're on the same boat here. Basically, you get an ignited lightsaber and just a hilt. Again, no hood. This one, if the render is incorrect, I feel that this one could have used a little bit more weathering. Um,
Yep.
to me, the armor looks too clean and too sort of monotone. Especially on that chest piece, right?
I feel like she is very clean.
Exactly.
But I think on this one, it cloth goods on the kind of the bottom skirt part.
I think these are. I don't think the underlying is. And
Mm,
also, I just noticed like this look hella shiny. The
yeah,
gauntlets. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't know that it is soft goods. I
I
wasn't
know.
watching the stream, guys, so you
Yeah,
know.
I was heading into work, listening to
Yeah,
Tony on it for the most part, and they did mention some of it had soft goods, but I don't remember who.
yeah.
Um, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, one thing I did notice, and I think a couple of people in the chat in Tony's live was talking about, I don't think they fixed the height.
Mm,
So
oh
that
no.
was kind of the big gripe on Black Series is like
Exactly. I was gonna
she's
say.
too tall. I
Yeah.
think she's still too tall.
Dang. And I remember Balin was too short, right? Something like
Yeah,
that. So it was a bad combination, when you post them together and they're like the exact same height, or close to it anyway,
yeah.
which they're not supposed to be for sure, like at all in the show.
It was
So
like daddy daughter in the show, and then it was
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah,
daughter's grown up.
yeah, no kidding, right? So man, that kind of sucks. Hopefully, they did learn from that. Um, I did like this comment. Looks like Cameron Diaz, which I thought was interesting. Again, I don't want to rag too much on the portrait until we see the actual thing, right, coming
Yep.
out, because this renders change. So those are some overdue, I think. We also got this guy here, Mandalorian Super Commando, based on the flashback from Ahsoka, right? Um, more of a, I think this is more of a repaint, slight variation on the belt, I think. Um,
Added blaster, I believe.
I think, see,
I
because
don't think
this blaster
rifle.
came with the Dead Trooper, I think, with the sorry, Dead Watch Trooper. So
Yeah,
I don't know
I think on the Clone Wars release, it just had the two pistols.
the two pistols. Yeah.
It didn't have the rifle. So this one I think added the
Yes.
rifle.
Yeah. 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 In the package, you mean? Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
Um, but again, the elements of the body kind of look reused.
Yeah.
Mm, like I said, the only one that stands to me is that belt.
I
It's a
wouldn't call
little
it a
bit
repackage,
different.
a repaint, maybe a slight modification. So
Yeah, probably not enough to say, new figure for sure.
yeah.
Um, but I am dumb and a sucker for Mandalorian, so I'm gonna be buying this. So who
I
am
mean,
I kidding?
it's a great figure, and
It is. It
if
looks
you're an
good.
army builder,
Yep. Yep.
that's a
Yep.
good
And like
one
I said,
to
we
build.
finally got primary and secondaries, for weapons. So that's a step in the right direction.
If that's your
Um,
standard TBC price and not a deluxe price,
dude, yeah,
then
that's what I was just about
definitely
to say.
definitely a good pickup for some army
Yeah.
building.
Like please don't make it a deluxe just because of an added blaster.
Hmm.
But at this point, they probably will. So this is probably gonna run you, $25. Um, but yeah, no, I think this is a regular release, so we should be okay. What I do want to point out is how freaking close are we to just popping off that head, putting Obi-Wan's head on it, and just releasing it like that. Like I don't understand, dude. I do not understand.
If you want to
Why
talk
can't
about
I have,
like
you know,
an easy figure to
dude,
get out there,
I will
you
buy
literally
easily
pop it
two
on and put
of
it on. There you
each.
go.
Like if once Black Series does it, I'm gonna buy two. Like just flat out. That's the base minimum I will buy. When TVC does it, guess what? I'm gonna buy two again. Like just that's the base, right? If I found another one on sale or if it comes out on, like Ross later on the road, guess what? I'm also gonna buy that one.
Mhm.
Just because it's my number one look of Obi-Wan that I've always wanted. um I bought the hot toy like flat out full on price because nobody else has ever done the figure, and I'm like, I don't want to spend, what was that, $250 or whatever that was. I was like, but nobody else has done it, so I kind of have to
Mhm.
get it, you know. Um, and
And a
then
solid hot toy that came out with that. So
yeah, no, the portrait is really good, and I'm still pending the review, by the way. Um, but the other one we got is 501st from the Kenobi show, which again, talk about catching up, you know, talk about catching up. Um,
I really like that card. Like,
yes, I was gonna say they nailed the look of the show because remember they did look a little bit different in that flashback. I
mhm.
mean, let's gotta be honest. To me, this is more of a lighter blue. However, and again, take this with a grain of salt. Here on the figure, I don't particularly see that difference. This shade of blue still looks kind of like what the previous release was. Again, this is from their PR,
Yeah.
pictures, right? So the real deal might look a little bit more accurate to the show. But like I said, to
And
me, the tone is a little bit off. Um,
and I wonder if being on the background of a very light blue makes that blue look darker on the
that's what
figure.
I was gonna
So
say. You could have chosen another
yeah, you
background.
could have picked a different color
Yeah,
there.
yeah, pretty much. Um, so technically, five of First Legion, Clone Trooper, Phase 2 armor. In theory, again, this should be the depiction from the Obi-Wan Kenobi Order 66 flashback. And again, I do remember those because even when I was watching it for the first time, like those dudes look a little bit different, than what we've seen the 501st. Um, so here it is, standard two blasters and nothing else, um, no additional armament or no additional backpack or anything like that. But again, just with this picture, again, it doesn't help the case of the difference in color, right?
Yep.
From the card to the figure, there's already a difference. But I don't want to criticize too much because again, these are probably more like renders or prototypes and things like that. So the actual product is going to look differently. All right. So let's see. Sexy Flex is saying pop sub manito. We got Johnny Be Good. What's up, Big John? Saying howdy boys. What's going on, man? How's it going, man? Big John sub says Mike. Welcome, brother. Welcome, welcome. Hey, what's your next show, Big John? Where are you gonna be at? Um, got a few shows, lined up here for the city. So what are you working on? And then carrying
Whatever it
over.
is, it's going to be a success if it
Oh, for sure.
compares to like SpaceCon. So he'll be selling his shoes again.
Yeah, dude, seriously. I was like, just start making sketches, bro, like on a napkin, sell that. Um, so technically also from the vintage collection, we got some of those battle packs, army building packs for
Roger, Roger.
yeah, from some Roger Rogers. Um, it's good. I mean, again, I kind of still support this army builder packs. My only gripe with them is that um the price has been increasing, from the first ones that we got, with the stormtroopers and such. So I'm kind of hoping they reel that back in because I think they were those first maybe two or three, they were pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
Um, love the clone ones, the phase one clones. The which one I was surprised that was kind of popular was the Rebel Troopers
Yep.
because I guess Rebel Troopers are not that common, right? Like if you just want to pick a bunch of them up, and so that army builder pack made a lot of sense.
I I I definitely love the Clone Wars, and so obviously one of the highlights of it was the droids and their
Oh yeah,
banter. So setting up scenes with the Black Series, I want to have some Rogers, but paying full price for Rogers
yeah,
is a pain. So I'm
agree.
always like, man, if I can find them loose or if I can find broken ones, like I'm
Yeah,
I'm down to pay, $10 for them. But they're so rare to find because Bobby from our friends at Rebel ScumCon, he
yeah.
collects them all.
Yeah, I was
So you
gonna
never
say
find the
he
good ones.
hoards them. Yeah, exactly. You can never find them, dude. Talk about an army building, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and to your point, they have that two pack. Remember, kind of mimicking this in the Black Series
Mhm.
with the clone and the B. It's a super battle droid, right? It's a B2.
Yep.
Um, but I'm like, that's fine. That's great. Actually, I'm all for that for army building. but now give me a 2 pack of Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Give me a give me a 2 pack of Rogers for $30, and they'll sell out. Like they will
Oh,
sell
for
out. Like
sure.
I can guarantee it. I
Bobby
think
will buy them all.
yeah. First of all, Bobby will buy your first and second batch of production. This guy here, this is the one that I was talking about.
Yep.
So um, again, I like this. If I didn't have them, separately, I would probably pick this up. If I see this at a good price, I'll probably will pick up because that
Oh
means I
yeah.
don't gotta open mine. um, but like I said, now keep it going, right? And just give me two Rogers. Give me two Rogers in here, um, and again, just make it an affordable price. And dude, they
They'll
would
fly.
sell so good. Yeah. Um, this one, like I said, I'm tempted just because Phase One is my favorite type of clone. And I always love shinies. I really always like the aesthetics of the all white like that. But anyway, at least we're taking steps in the right direction in that sense, and a bunch of Rogers, does make a lot of sense. Okay, so I'll move on a little bit faster here. So Black Series, we got where is it? Skipped over it. Here we go. Again, we kind of knew it was coming, right? But it's finally here. So this is Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars aesthetic, in the Clone Wars look, armor, with technically with Hayden Christensen's, portrait, right? So this is supposed to be based off of the Ahsoka show, which was the flashback. And yeah, I'm curious
Maybe
as to.
that's the one that has soft
Yeah,
parts.
this definitely does look like soft goods.
Because I'm looking at what's in front of me, and yeah, that's definitely different.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The
Oh yeah. Yep.
the Target exclusive was not soft goods. Portrait does look better. I think this picture looks helps it more. To be honest with you, just from this image, I don't know how updated that body is.
Yeah, I pulled out this
Mm,
one when I got home and I was looking at them. They don't look too different.
yeah.
The head for sure, obviously adding cloth goods,
Mm-hmm.
but the body itself, I don't think so.
Oh, you know what? Here, somebody actually asked that. Dang, yeah. So right as we're talking about it, I noticed this comment. Is this the same figure as the Target exclusive? The answer seems to be with soft goods, a better belt, a new head. Yes, big leg down. So yeah, guys, it kind of seems like the body might be reused again. We'll
Not a
wait.
horrible, not a horrible figure.
No,
Um,
no, not.
Articulation's okay.
Yeah.
And now this is a Lucy. I got him loose, and so it's got some looser joints than if it was brand new out of the package. But the head mold, if we could get a better one,
Hmm.
then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like they did, right? So this might not be necessarily a bad figure by no means. It's just with somebody like Anakin, you want to have that awesome range of motion, right? Because
Oh
you
yeah.
kind of want him posed up in many way, different shapes and forms. Um, I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. If that feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity to update that body on a super popular character, right? Um, I don't believe this is an exclusive, which is good because the other one was right. It was a Target
Yeah.
exclusive. Which, by the way, I love that packaging. That's some of my favorite packaging in Black Series.
I couldn't I couldn't come to spend the in package price because he's if you find him under 60, grab it because I
Yeah,
have not found it under 60. I picked up this Lucy for 25. So
that's not bad.
that's a steal
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
for this figure. And I've got a bunch of 501st guys that needed their general, so I had to pick
Absolutely.
them up. But yeah, when this one, I'll probably pre-order this one, and I probably won't open it, so I don't know what the articulation is going to be.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I kind of sorry, I was looking at this and I'm kind of wishing they would have included the red saber. You know,
Oh yeah,
just kind of like again alluding to the flashback, right, or to the vision that she had. or not Vision guy. Sorry, somebody came at me at the comments hard back then because I said that she just had a vision. And she's like, no, no, she was right there. He was right there. Like they were both physically there. I'm like, I don't know, man. But hey, to reminiscent of the encounter, whatever that was, between Anakin and Ahsoka, right? Um,
That's kind of what I want to do. I want to kind of have them like Vader behind him
oh,
in the
dude, yeah.
same pose, but that means I got to go buy another Vader, and I'm just like, maybe if I find them loose, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, well, betas are still kind of peg warming, man. That new what is it, New Hope version, and it's a nice figure. I'm not gonna lie, I
It
was looking
is.
at it the other day, and I'm like, if this drops in price, I might just pick it up because I think it's
I'm waiting for the Ollie. Like, there's so
yeah.
many on pegs right now. I'm hoping it goes to Ollie's, but I have up there. I have the New Hope, and then I have the Obi-Wan, and then I have the Duels in Obi-Wan in my room,
Oh yeah.
and then I've got a few other Vaders around the house. So it's like I have so many Vaders.
Oh no, same here. Trust me. I think I have the that first one for Black Series. I don't remember the one that comes with the gigantic card that was
Hmm.
meant to emulate the first 12 from Kenner. I got that one somewhere. Don't ask me where, but I got that one. So yeah, it's definitely gone. Quite a bit of updates, and then
This one,
finally,
you got to be excited for that one.
freaking finally, dude, come on,
If there's
what
for
are we
sure
doing?
one pre-order I'm going after tomorrow,
Yeah.
right there.
So clone Captain Rex. It says from Ahsoka, but I'm like, we didn't see him in Ahsoka. But again, we didn't see his face. I'm sorry, in Ahsoka. But I'm just
Yeah,
nitpicking. I'm just nitpicking, guys. We much needed this. Okay, much needed this. Um, this is one of the releases, like I should say, updates in Black Series that just baffles me how we never got it. It's just so crazy how the red box, and let that sink in, the red box version is all we had for what, 6 years,
until
7 years?
Bad Batch, right?
Yeah, until Bad Batch. And then that one kind of, I'll be honest with you, that one kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna re-release the red box. And I was like, okay, they're reissuing it. No, they literally just is the same packaging. It's the same red box. I'm like, bro, did somebody just found a container
That's
that
exactly
was
what
like
happened.
that was lost at sea, and somebody they're like, oh, we found
It
10,000
was
more
on
Rex.
a Yeah, it
So
was like it was on an island.
you
A
dude,
ship
seriously,
went down. One of the containers
yeah,
floated to an island,
exactly. And
and
so it took 6 years for the container to
yeah.
get there, and then they're like, oh, I guess we're selling Rexes on the red
Oh,
box again.
what was the Castaway? God dang, I can't think of the actor.
Oh, Tom Hanks,
Uh,
yeah.
Tom Hanks. Like when they rescued Tom Hanks, he told him about there was a Connex he could never open.
Exactly.
They flew, they picked it up, and guess what? There's Captain Rex.
Exactly, dude. Um, yeah, I don't know. That again, that sorry, but that's still just baffles me.
Yep.
Um, anyway, I did wanted to point out some of these images, like this one and this one to me. This looks very Clone Warsy,
Yep.
more so than Ahsoka flashback, right? Live action. Again, I think it has to do with the maybe like the shade of the render, right, that they're using. But this, some of these poses look more of the animated, colors to me. Maybe because of the cleanliness that it's got.
Mm.
Not sure. It definitely needs a little bit of weathering, and I'm sure many of our friends are gonna take that right on
I
as
don't know.
as they get.
I would leave them like that. That is pretty right there. I
Oh, I
wouldn't
like
wear that.
this. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like for the aesthetic to match like the show,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it does need to be scuffed up a little bit more. But man, freaking finally! I mean, what are you guys doing? Come on, Captain Rex, as we've seen him, as we know him, finally. Um, I am so hoping this is updated everything. Like updated clone body, updated portrait. I don't know that it will be, but man, at least the body. That new clone body is actually pretty good.
Yep.
So I think good old Captain Rex deserves it, but we will see. So let's see. Pre-order. Uh, Divin's Collection, Balin, Sheen, Mando Commando, Fiber First, Black Series Anakin, and Rex are all mainline releases. Will be available for order individually tomorrow, January 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern. However, it seems the Battle Droid 4-pack is an exclusive to Hasbro and the Disney Store, and will only be available for pre-order tomorrow at Pulse at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to grab these guys, these are going to go out for pre-order again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, whatever that means for us. I think that's like, what is that, noon?
I think
I'm
it's
getting
noon.
my, yeah. Um, so yeah, basically all that you see here is going out for pre-order. Uh, the main action figures are not exclusive, so pick your poison. Uh, Target, Walmart, of course, Hasbro Pulse, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, etc., etc. They should all be carrying them, which is good. I feel that these are all characters that people would definitely want to buy. And the battle pack, or the army builder, sorry, 4-pack for the Roger Rogers, that it'll be only available in Hasbro Pulse. All right. Disney Store, they tend to sometimes put it out, but more than likely they're kind of hit or miss, to be honest with you. They always do whatever they want, and they publish whenever they want, and then they sell out and they restock random times. It's kind of a, yeah, it's kind of a hit and miss with them. Um, so if anybody's going to the park, you'll probably have more more
Yeah.
luck finding it there physically. But yeah, I gotta be honest with you, pretty solid lineup. I don't necessarily dislike any of these. That I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you put these out? Um, yeah, pretty. I gotta give it to Hasbro. I think this one's a pretty solid release. Um, I wouldn't call any of them mind blowing, if I'm being honest. Um, Very popular, most of them. Most of them, I think, will end up here in the bunker at some point or another.
Oh yeah.
So I
I
think,
think the only one, the commando one, was the only one that I was like, well, that's kind of a,
yeah,
yeah, meh.
yeah, exactly. No, no, and I agree. The commando, I can take it or leave it, but that's just because we've kind of had it before, right?
Yep.
Otherwise, I'd be all over that. And again, I'll probably still get it, but I am gonna wait for like a sale, or
Yeah.
something like that. Clones, I'm a sucker for clones, man. That whole that whole top row right there, that's pure clones. That's all clones right there. Every single one of those is clones. So I'll get it. Um, Balin and Shin, I kind of do want to look at them before, to be honest with you. I kind of want to see what they look like. Now seeing them here side to side, I know the card is a little bit off, but the height, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not looking great for the height. Um, I do again. I do want to see them live before I make the decision. But more than likely, yes, I will get them. But it's gonna depend if I play the longer game, and try to get a sale, or find them cheaper, etc. Um, Anakin for sure. Rex, absolutely. I mean, who are we kidding? Um, so yeah, I think out of all of these, I think Rex is the one that's like the obvious that we will get for sure.
Yep.
Anakin in very close second, and then like I said, for the vintage collection, more than likely all of them I will end up with, but I probably will wait a little bit. Um, I'm trying to be good, and I'm trying not to pre-order stuff. I'm trying to, check it out, see them and stuff. But like I said, I don't know, man. Captain Rex, that's gonna be a popular one. The only good thing is that it's a mainline release, so it's gonna be out there for everybody, right?
Yep.
Different outlets. It's not an exclusive, so that should help alleviate it. Um, let's see. Uh, Big John saying more buckets, more blasters. If the rumblings are true, it's seeming like SpaceCon is coming a lot earlier than expected. So I'm gonna be ready, boys. Bro, I would definitely start stacking up. Okay.
Yep.
Uh I just had a conversation about that literally a few hours ago. I think so. I think nothing definite. I can't say that. But I would be ready for the summer. Okay, I would definitely stock up, man. I would definitely, the way you sold out in October, bro. I would go twice, maybe 2.5 times, that time, or that amount. I mean, um, because yeah, you did real good, man. And I'm glad, dude. I'm super glad.
Definitely.
Uh, dude, battle droids. I'm not a big fig collector, but god dang. Now this gets me back in the saddle. There you go. Yeah, dude. And again, unfortunately, it kind of sucks that these guys are exclusive because they're army builders. Like, so why wouldn't you want to sell them everywhere for everybody? But again, that's just Hasbro. Ooh, I had not noticed these dudes on the sides are packing. They're double
Oh yeah,
packing, man.
yeah. They got some extra blasters in there.
Yeah, and they're ready to go.
I
I
think
like
they
that.
also said that there's a different antennas as well. So like if you don't have the pack on, it comes with a separate antenna. So I
Yeah,
think there's additional accessories in there.
I was just gonna say these two have packs, but these dudes don't, or they doesn't look like they do. Let me see if I can go back here. So on the image, no, they all do. They all do. They all have backpacks, but these guys have single blasters. These ones have no. They don't have backpacks here, so maybe they can attach differently.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. Like if you have the
That's
packs on, it
cool.
has the two antennas. If you take the backpack off, you can swap in the single
Nice.
antenna. So there's different variations of it. So I think that is a
Good.
true army builder
Yeah, man,
to
I like
me.
that. I like that. And yeah, of course, we got one of the what are these guys, lieutenants or captains? I forget.
Yeah.
The yellow. So we do have one of the leaders, right? As usual, we got an officer in pretty much in all of these army builders. So yeah, man, check it out. Again, my only gripe with these things is the price, right? They've gone up quite a bit. I think the Tuscan Raider one, man, that one's kind of expensive. I forget what it was right now, but it was like I want to say like upwards of 65 or something like that. I'm like, I
Yep.
don't know, man. That's it's getting up there,
Yeah. You need to drop that down to 40, like tops.
dude. Seriously, yeah. Again, you're obviously not spending much on packaging. Inside they're just kind of lumped together. So
Yep.
it's not even like a individually, separated, package and stuff.
Yeah, no separate bubbles, no separate
No,
cards. Just they're kind of wrapped in a
exactly.
kind of a wax paper and just thrown in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, pretty much so. Um, Johnny saying the problem with the Black Series 6-inch is that they're getting too expensive now. I remember when they were 17.99. Yeah, dude, when they first launched, and then they were $20 for ages, right? Then they were 22 for like a year, and they're like, yeah, guess what, 25. And I'm like, what happened? Um, Now I found some that are up to like 27 sometimes,
mhm.
and I'm like, what is going on? Like that's not cool. But I do venture a little bit of caution, and I've said it here before. If you've been waiting for a release like this one, for example, do consider paying full price. And this is why you guys know me, I'm always down for a sale, a clearance, a coupon, all of that good stuff. Why? Things are getting tougher, right? It seems like our dollars don't go as far as they used to. Um, but, but if we all across the board, wait for everything to go on clearance, everything to go on sale, the lines,
Are going to
I mean,
suffer.
exactly the toy lines. I mean, sorry, they're gonna suffer, right? Very true. What did that mean? Black Series might not go away immediately, but they're gonna start throttling back on how many releases, the quality of the releases. In terms of, hey, we're only gonna play it safe. We're gonna be releasing a bunch of Rexes because that's sold, so you're not gonna get anybody else.
The
That
side
kind of stuff, right?
characters, yeah, the
Exactly, like the obscure, aliens in the background, that kind of stuff. Um, it's gonna become harder and harder for them to
because I feel
justify
like
producing.
every screen character on the Mandalorian has a black figure, like Black
Just
Series
about,
figure. So
just
so
about.
that goes out the window if we don't take
Yeah,
care of our
yeah,
of our toys. Like that's
yeah,
basically like
absolutely,
we
man.
want to see
So
that line be successful.
yeah, exactly. So every so often, um, I do literally pick up something at just retail, right? Um, and so, like I said, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that we kind of have to do. Okay, let me rephrase that. You don't have to do anything, right?
Yeah, yeah,
These are
yeah.
toys. These are not food. You don't need these. But if you're collecting, I do
We
recommend
don't
that you
recommend eating your toys.
exactly. Yes, that's one. We've tried it several times, different lines. It just did not pan out. Anyway, um, I do encourage you, right, to do this every once in a while, right? Pay full price for something that you've been waiting on, right? For example, that Anakin too, right? A lot of people, don't want to pay the $60, like Mike was saying. So if it's coming out at 25, all right, maybe think about, hey, 25 is a fair price because it's saving me from spending 60, right? In a sense. Because again, if we don't do that every so often, Hasbro's like, all right, man, we're just not selling it. Yeah, exactly. We're just taking a hit every quarter. We're out, right? And they have done so before. Remember, like Lightning Collection, right? For Power Rangers. So again, just my 2 cents on that. I believe it or not, I do it. I do buy stuff, full price every once in a while. Um, but yeah, again, if you are excited about any of the releases and you see it out in the store and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick this up straight up. Johnny says Clone Wars definitely coming back hard, and I'm all for it. Yeah, dude, want to see those Clone Wars buckets, man.
Oh yeah.
Zombie in the house, what's going on, man? Saying, hey guys, Eric saying Rex is fire. Yeah, dude, they did a good job with Rex. Sub Zombie. Johnny says I'm a sucker for clonies. Oh, dude, same here.
We all are.
Hey, Dad Vader says Zombie. Yeah, dude, I was gonna say if you don't love clones, you just don't have love in your heart. Um, but yeah, so that was what was announced today, and I think excuse me, I think pretty solid, for Hasbro. Um, Good on them, why not? But they should have more solid releases like this. Like I said, I don't think there's particularly a weaker link here, aside, like we said, from the Super Commando, just because it's more of a bit of a remix, right, of
Yeah.
figures that we already got before, but it's still good looking. I mean, I still like the way this thing looks for sure. And
That's the
again,
one
there's
thing I do give the TVC is their cards are
yes,
usually pretty fire.
yes, the cards are usually on point. Um, and for me, I'm a sucker for these because I love the way they look autographed.
Oh
So if
yeah.
you get to meet the actor, or the voice or whatever it is, and they sign on a card, it just looks. I don't know. I just love the way that looks. Um, so if I can get a Black Series carded signature, that's kind of my favorite combo. Bigger card, bigger figure, uh, a little bit more real estate, for an autograph. So that's kind of my favorite. But TVCs, definitely fire. Um, Zombie saying, I just finished painting 3 Black Series Phase 2 clone helmets the other week. Nice, nice. Did
Nice.
you post that? Maybe I missed it. Good job though.
I think you did.
Um, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to check it out. But yeah, guys. So that's about all we got here, for tonight.
You see what Bro Lorian put?
Bro Loden says, quote of the night: If you don't love clones, you don't have love in your heart. You put that on a T-shirt. All right.
That is right.
Those are words to live by. All right. But yes, that I like that. That will be the quote of the night. Oh no way, I'll check it out, man. I missed it. Sorry. Um, but yes, clones are awesome. I'm telling you. Uh, So, just a quick reminder, to check us out over on social media. As I mentioned before, you definitely want to join the Vader Army over there on Instagram, the Dad Vader. Again, go check out our friend Mike here, who posts amazing stuff pretty much every day. We are also on Facebook, General Kenobi's Bunker, all one word. We are on Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker, and that also made us generate a threads at general.kenobis.bunker. And yes, you guys are welcome. We are still on TikTok at general_kenobis_bunker. Hey, I told you, man. I told you my money order for $23.75. It's like, ooh, that finally cleared. Senator was like, turn the switch back on. But yeah, it was meant to be, $25, but turns out they actually charge you to give you a money order, which I did not know about. So that kind of ate, a little bit into it. And also, one final reminder, don't forget to hit that like button here on the stream Let's let the mythical YouTube algorithm know that we are doing good. I would also greatly, greatly appreciate if you share the content with people you think would enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining us here on episode 98. Ooh, 98 of The High Ground. Next week, we are trying to line up an awesome guest. Still haven't, dotted the I's and crossed the X's or whatever the phrase goes. And so we're still trying to, line it up. So we haven't announced it. So hopefully we'll have a very cool guest for our episode 99. And then on to the big triple digits, 100. We're still working out the details of what we're going to do for that show, but it's going to be a fun one. So stay tuned again in our social. And thank you. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see. Last one's Zombie saying getting closer to 100. Yeah, dude, it's kind of nuts. Brother Lawrence saying peace out. All right. Thanks again, guys. Stay warm, stay safe, and yeah, go pre-order some Captain Rex tomorrow. I think it's good. I think it's worth it. So with that, we'll leave you. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great night. See you, everybody. Thanks again. Love y'all. Peace out.